I'd like to introduce you today to a serial entrepreneur that's changing the way we think about leadership. Kenny Hawk is a Detroit native who grew up with roots in the automotive industry, and he started his career on the manufacturing floor at General Motors. But he soon found himself leaving Detroit for new opportunities overseas and in Silicon Valley. Now, Kenny is the CEO of Campbell-based Mojo, a leading software-as-a-service platform for connected cars and carrier-branded IoT services. In a nutshell, Mojo is also Kenny's sixth outing as CEO, including his passion for using technology but to solve real-world problems. And on doing a little research, I've also discovered that Kenny was a semi-pro skateboarder as a teenager, and he may or may not still be able to do a handstand while riding. And yes, I promise you, I will go there too. I mean, when researching guests, stuff like that is pure gold to me. So buckle up and hold on tight as I beam your ears all the way to California so we can speak with Kenny Hawk from Mojo. So, a massive warm welcome to the show, Kenny. How are the New Year's resolutions going? Are you still holding firm after the holidays? And are there any plans to resurrect your semi-pro skating career and maybe prove you can still do a handstand while riding?
Well, thanks for asking. We live a very focused life, so we're going to stick to our plans. There's no new resolutions for 2019. Other than make sure we stay focused. And for skateboarding, I'm past the point of being a pro skateboarder, but I still try to do a handstand on the skateboard at least once a year to make sure I can still do it. And I'll probably do that at CES with my team. So looking forward to a great CES this year. Fantastic.
That's going to be a sight to see. But when I was researching you, I learned that you are a Detroit native who grew up with roots in the automotive industry. And I believe you started your career working on the manufacturing floor at General Motors, but soon found yourself leaving Detroit for new opportunities overseas and in Silicon Valley. So can you expand a little on that and tell me more about the transition from the manufacturing floor for new opportunities overseas and in Silicon Valley?
Sure. So I worked at General Motors between junior and senior year of college to make some money for college. University in the U.S. is quite expensive. And I was supposed to be programming robots at General Motors. Well, it turned out the robots were delayed from Japan. And so the plant manager, Al Harris, came out to us 28 college students who were supposed to be doing programming and said, "Men, I've got good news and bad news. Bad news, the robots won't be here for another 9 months. Good news is you could work on the manufacturing floor as a production supervisor and learn what manufacturing is all about." And we were like deer in the headlights. I really needed the job, so I stayed. About half the people left and took their backup jobs. And I had to manage, cranky 20 to 30-year veterans of the United Auto Workers Union. And I was there as a 19-year-old with, knowing very little about management. And I tell you, they just ripped me apart for the first few weeks until I finally earned their respect and built a relationship with them. But it was probably one of the toughest things I ever did was managing, people older than me, different races, different backgrounds. And it really took a lot of humble pie to be able to do that job. But I still love technology. And for me, getting out to Silicon Valley was the goal, at least getting out to the West Coast. And I took a job with a startup chip company as a chip designer and moved out to Southern California. And that's how I started my technology career.
You really have been on an incredible journey, and you are currently the CEO of Campbell-based company called Mojo, which is a leading SaaS platform for connected cars and carrier-branded IoT services. But Mojo is also your sixth outing as CEO. But I've got to ask, where did your passion for using technology to solve real-world problems, where did that come from?
It's interesting. I was looking back and trying to figure out, where were the roots? My dad was an electrician, so he always had switches and light bulbs and circuits. We built Radio Shack electronics kits together. He actually built a TV from a Heathkit project kit where you actually take all the components and build your own TV. And so tinkering with electronics at an early age really helped with that. And I look back, and now that Radio Shack is defunct and all the stores are shut down, I'm hoping somebody resurrects those kits, because as a young kid playing with those kits, really taught you the basics of how electricity flows, how switches work, relays, transistors, building your first transistor radio component by component. Those are things that kids now just take for granted. Everything just works. You don't need to know how it works. And I think understanding how things work is a key part of building that love and curiosity around technology.
Now, for people hearing about Mojo for the very first time, can you just set the scene a little and reveal exactly what it is, the kind of real-world problems that you solve, and also what makes it stand out from other solutions out there?
Sure. So Mojo, we're a Vancouver-based company with offices in Silicon Valley and also Sofia, Bulgaria, so we're quite global. We build a cloud platform for IoT, starting with the connected car. And what that means is for just $10 or €10 per month, the mobile operator provides a device that the consumer plugs into the vehicle, into their onboard diagnostic port, which every car since 1997 has. And by plugging that device in, you light up 4G LTE Wi-Fi in the car. So you have high-speed Wi-Fi in the car that works anytime the car is on. You also decode all the secret information hiding behind that onboard diagnostics port. For example, trouble codes when your check engine light goes on and you have no idea what the problem is, will tell you not only the severity of the problem, but what the problem is and the likely cost of repair. So when you go into a mechanic shop, you as a consumer have much more power than just driving in and saying, please help, I have no idea what's wrong with my vehicle. Now you could drive in and say, this catalytic converter is failing, it should cost about 600 pounds. Can you do it for 600 pounds or less? So just those two features not only give the customer more convenience, but also save them time, save them money. And it also lets you know if your car has been tampered with, has been bumped, towed, or is being stolen. And you know that your loved ones are also getting into a safe vehicle. For me, I've got teen daughters, so knowing that they're driving safely, knowing where they are, and that the cars are safe is also great peace of mind for me as a parent. And with that, we've gone from 0 to 800,000 connected cars in the last 18 months.